Yo. So in pubs and I think in MMs lately, I mean, it's always been like this. Like USSR side is kind of imbalanced, and usually um USA always wins because it's so easy to defend their part of the river and like decap or cap the bridge, just win the bridge push. So I think it's one of those problematic maps where like two even teams, like it's really hard for USSR to win. Or in a pub where there's no like team cohesion or like planning, it's hard to win unless the USA team is just really crap. Say they have like a really crap armor. Um, yeah, they have like a really big like weak link or two. Maybe USSR can dominate, but lately it's not been so much the case. It's like USSR is almost like a guaranteed lose. So maybe we can see there are ways to alleviate that sitch. So right off the bat, this team is gunning for this. And Inf, I think, just spawned on this side, which means they forego any chance of being part of that cap. They are part of this one. Armor and support, I think, spawn in their normal spot. But we have a heavy that's over here that's going to be a big help around here, right? This angle. So not just focused on the bridge. I think you really need a heavy that covers the farm, ideally. These should be probably the 2 points that USSR is like really thinking about. And they're not decapping either. They don't want a VTA there. That would be bad. And we're waiting for air to circle back so we can get the cap again. And the inf is pushing in. And it happens in a lot of games where like someone did spawn over here and like all of a sudden at the beginning of the game, like you're dealing with stuff at your farm early on. So if everyone can coordinate to do that, that could be really good. I also like this sniper spot. Covers a bit of a different field than like somewhere over here would maybe. Maybe it's about the same. But now the decap has happened, and it's a little bit of a risky decap. Sure, you don't want VTA, but like air is helping hold it. It's good. Yeah, we kind of got BTFO'd. So we're poking around with our. This is almost a little bit of a offense feed drop. Like that's definitely a little deep drop. I don't know if it's gonna last that long because there's ones right there, but this one's getting he didn't quite land in the woods there, so he's visible. He, yeah, like situation around here. At least it took them a long time to get it back after that decap. And these woods are burned. Not completely, maybe. Maybe an AA could still hide behind those trees, I think. I think these two forests are like really important for USSR if they want to push here. Like, oh wow, just murked. But having like a reg there and then like an AA behind it, so that like when the armor wants to come over here, they have like a little bit of a safe base. And like obviously this AA. Always good to have. Like, if you want to push this, like, you need like an A, like somewhere in this corner that's ready. J-Man's lights are ready. This heavy was always here. There's actually two that are always like this one still covers the bridge, but it also is covering the farm. They're not letting them fort up the farm ever because that's just gonna we're gonna have to dump a lot of TA to clear that. So the heavy here, if it has vision, they'll never be able to fort this with like light armor units like they want to. Like this air player is constantly harassing this area. Like look, this light wants to fortify there, but the ranked heavy is not going to allow that fortification to go up. And we have vision over here. We see there's no forting going on there, and there's another heavy here. Like some distracting drops. The air is completely distracted, so I mean they really could go for a cap here if they're really quick about it. I think maybe if the inf player had a sniper here, it would be good to. Oh yeah, like these snipers are just not. So many better things you could spend your art reinforcement points on than 50 snipers when you're on USSR side. Like it's hard enough. Like with these snipers, like here, super useful. They like kill all the inf. Ah, we just missed that cap barely. I think this heavy is gonna. He was about to sack it to like deny the cap or something. Like the air players prioritizing this stuff really heavily. Yeah, like these heavies are absolutely, I think, crucial, and the air player being super aggressive is also really crucial. Like they're just hasn't been forwarded hardly at all. And yeah, you gotta burn this forest, I'd say. So you can see without having inf on the other side, like this needs to go for sure. And yeah, the air player is just really focusing this area, even if they're going to take a little bit of damage in the process. And then we can go for a cap because it's not forted up. It never was. They're not generating TA off the forts too. We're not wasting a lot of TA on like airstrikes to clear. Might be a good recap here. Looks like we're just gonna back off. Yeah, we're just gonna back off, I think. Well, he's too banged up. Ooh, we're gonna swap places. I like that. Oh my god. Yeah, that was like perfect. It was like a classic Wally air to air. Oh, Jamin's gonna die though. As expected. He's still got the gen back there. Still guarding this cap. And the sniper is actually kind of useful. But I think he needs to back up. He needs to be like here. Because if this sniper's in the right place, it can yeah, there you go. It's got oh yeah. More like that. This not so much. Not so much as good as where it was before. But that one's okay. And the lights are ready. He always had like a light armor unit boarding the back. He always had his vision, and he always had at least one heavy over here. Infant support always had stuff over here. There were often light tanks ready. Some distracting things going on over here that distract the enemy air. And then while he's getting frustrated, he wants J-Man to go, but he doesn't have a mic. So someone's got to go for that cap. But with this decapped and like a really strong, this is a strong decap position that they can actually hold really well, maybe even go for caps. Like the tick is just enough to keep them in the game. And of course, it's super susceptible to heavy arties, which sucks. And they do get a cap. I feel like his snipers are always in like suboptimal spots though. You just move it up here and keep it kind of behind the tree, but it would be able to shoot up there. Like one or two snipers. The heavy tank. The general heavy tank just bullying all the light units and even the inf that's out there. You can see with all that hard work, we still only got like this much tick, and we probably given up a handful of recaps to the enemy team. This air player is just relentlessly bullying this area. Ooh, got him. Yeah, like everyone, the whole team's just paying attention to the side, to this corner. And while he's like always holding this corner for his team, it would be even better for him probably if these trees were still up. He'd have an even stronger place to hide that AA if necessary. So there was another sweet air to air there. Yeah, I think like importantly, like bully USSR. I mean USA from ever even like fording this. Nice cap, touch cap, and then like air is just like relentlessly keeping things off of this cap as long as possible. Because this is like when this is capped and decapped, that's like your only window of like arrows until maybe the late game where you're going for like total dom drops or something. Certainly not pushing this. I think people sometimes say like a seesaw, like back and forth, like you're pushing both sides. Works really well. Probably would. I like the other team's burning this. I think that's good. I think these two forests are, if you're USA, like these two forests are like your enemy. I think they don't really help you out. I think they just help out the enemy team. They can infiltrate inf and hide a nice cap. And burning that. Yeah, I reckon it's good to burn both of these. USSR side in the long run. It's more annoying drops, and this air player always gets caught up killing these drops, which is kind of good. This push. A lot of TA on air to airs, I gotta say. And we're gonna surrender another decap there, or recap rather. Another heavy back here. Okay, now he's got like his snipers in like actually good spots. Like these, this one's good. If you're pushing here and you want to do drops in here, like this gives you an upper hand in like clearing out some of their drops before they can kill yours. And I guess there's even a little spot back here that covers this hill, this forest probably. And you see, like, every time they decap it, they just get a tiny bit more dom bar every time. But they have to hold this the whole time too. Nice cap. The light tanks are fast enough to get there. And we got our little tick window. This team is gonna try and stop that bleeding as early as possible. And the snipers help keep those units off. And like he saved a light tank back here, and you could go back. Maybe he'll save it again. Yeah, Tony and this heavy tank have just been like air and armor have just been merciless against this CP. They're actually almost farming TA off USSR now. How many times they capped it? And this is Silver's really doesn't want the arrow pressure keep building anymore. He's always trying to stop that recap, or he's always decapping rather. These drops are going down. It's getting late in the game, so like if you can set yourself up to decap, like near the end of the game when decaps are good, I think that's a good idea. So if you can get some drops in and keep them alive and like make sure there's nothing here for forts, then he could just run out there like when there's like a minute and a half, 2 minutes left. Yeah, these snipers are killer, really killer. Like this guy's still alive. I don't think they'll get like a full cap probably, but like they can go for a decap I guess at this point because it's late and they're playing from USSR side, and like they kind of control the bridge area, so Wally can just drive out over here. Yeah, and we're like holding this decap pretty good. Like really good coordination. It's a little hard to deal with for Tony for sure. And it's too bad because I only needed one more rocket. Maybe if he had just sacrificed his chopper. Hey, he's going back in. So, and then the rest of his sets coming in. I think they got a shot. All right, so they fed enough for a nuke. Just this team's late game plan. Maybe we have a counter nuke. However, nice cap. 4 arrows. Getting nuked. And we're decapped, but we still have 2 arrows because we had this. And we've got, yeah, we do have a counter nuke, so I don't know if it's gonna decap this. Like though, but certainly wipes everything out of the middle. They've actually got 2 arrows on them. This is getting recapped a lot, but like the last couple of minutes, like you just gotta put that kind of pressure on them, the arrow pressure. Like I'm almost expecting Wally to drive up there at some point. Jamin got back in here. Let's see this air to air. Nice. Almost perfect air to air. Yeah, Wally's going in. I think there's just a drop there. Like he could get in there if he wants to. Yeah, I think airstrip's like more of like a late game operation. I mean, it's hard to say in pubs where you've got like 8 people. Like maybe you can sustain pushing that when you have enough players to cover everything else. They're just sitting on this. That's all I have to do. Couple more seconds. And then you just gotta sit on the back of this. Another sick air to air potentially. Well, he's not even gonna need it though. Or will he? Yeah, it's gonna hit anyway. And this got shut down eventually, but it did its job. So this is a good example of USSR beating USA on farmland by they like completely locked down bridge. They never had to worry about bridge capping and recapping it. I think it was kind of like the best offense. The best defense is a good offense. Like they were pressuring this more than, and that kind of maybe stopped the other team from being able to start pushing here a lot. There was always a heavy tank around here, and sometimes there's even one here, maybe like two here, but they always had tanks that could shoot there. The air player was like constantly getting in there, and they almost never had an opportunity to fort. Like this forest was burned early on, so that we could get vision there really easily, and the tanks could shoot. Like Wally always had an AA here. There was almost always like inf around here, certainly inf here, but there was always inf like squads. You always need an AA there. I think you definitely gotta have like one or two tanks that can shoot across the bridge. The lights gotta be ready, and the inf, and you gotta hold your bridge. Like gotta lock that down. Always have a light unit forting. But they never let the scout fort it, so they never had to waste TA on airstrikes to clear it. Like it was always just a matter of like, did we clear the softs units off? Like, are there no units on the caps? Like, is air taking care of that? And are our units ready to cap? You don't have to worry about forts or vision for this. So yeah, tank here. One tank shooting across at all times. Don't let the fort burn the forest. AA inf. If you want to push the farm. And whenever you get that cap, like do everything you can to extend that little window that you're getting your arrows. Like Tony would like sacrifice his choppers to keep stuff from decapping or recapping this as much as possible. Yeah, GG.